little baseball topic here. Minor league players are putting the moves in place to finally unionize. I know this is something that folks within baseball circles and even outside have talked about. The conditions for minor leaguers have not been great. There was a class action suit involved in all of this. Just from your perspective, how monumental is this first step?
So this is huge. This has been in the works for a long time. And, you know, you talk about the lawsuit. Well, advocates for minor leaguers, I think is what they were called, started in 2020. Mm-hmm. So they were trying to get, better rights for the minor league players because living conditions, their pay, all sorts of things were not really fair. And, growing up in the system, you don't really notice it until people start talking about it. Like, how do you live off stuff like that? How do you live off that kind of money when you're not even allowed to have another job because you're working, trying to get your way to the big leagues, this and that. But that's not the only thing that, the Players Association decided to do this. All those people that worked for the advocates for minor leaguers quit that job and got hired to the Major League Baseball Players Association, which is absolutely huge for them. But what this does now, it helps them to be able to fight for their contracts. They didn't have anybody to fight for their contracts, their agents, but they didn't have anything to base it off of. And with suspensions, they never had somebody that could fight for them with suspensions. Well, that's what the Players Association does. So many things that's happening with this is great for the game.
Do you have any minor league horror stories?
Yeah, so my first year of pro ball, I made $850 a month, and it was for the 5 months. I can't do math. Maybe your arithmetic is better than mine, but
no, my arithmetic's a little iffy.
It's about $4,200 for the year, and that's what I made. And at the time, it's just like we're trying to get to the big leagues. We're trying to play as best we can. But looking back on it, how do you expect somebody to live that way? We had guys that were living 8 deep, 8 people in one apartment.
Tough.
So I mean, it's not great living conditions, but it was part of it back then.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest question I have moving forward is how does the union balance now representing the major league guys and the minor league guys? Because if my arithmetic is correct, you're looking at 4 to 5x the membership, and it's hard to represent people who are on that low of a pay scale and also some of the stars that are in the game. That's the issue that you see with the NFLPA is you've got the guys like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, but you're also still fighting for the rookie guy who is on his first deal that's slotted and doesn't have a ton of rights. So that's going to be the biggest thing moving forward is what the organization looks like in terms of making sure everybody can be represented to the best of their abilities.
See, I mean, that's a good point because I don't know much about the NFL Players Association. I just know that Major League Baseball, whether you make $500 million or you make the league minimum at $600,000, whatever it is, they're fighting for you regardless. And the same guys and girls do it. The same people do it. Now, with them bringing over 200 employees from the advocates for minor leaguers, I'm assuming they're going to take those roles on and help all the minor leaguers with their contracts and things.
So how hard of a balance is this going to really be? Because you've got guys who they've got different interests at different levels. Like I said, the expanded membership. From your perspective, do you think everybody's going to be able to handle this maturely and professionally?
I don't see any reason why they won't be able to. I mean, this is the Major League Baseball Players Association, and this is no disrespect to other unions, but I feel like it's the strongest union out there. And Tony Clark, the head of the union, he's been in this position before. He's been a minor leaguer before. He was a successful major leaguer. So he knows what these kids are going through. He's going to do everything he can for the players now in the major leagues and for the minor leaguers coming up.
I'm jaded because my union was weak. The NFLPA is known to kind of give up a little bit of leverage in negotiations.